We have seen it once before, Mojo, that there has been county arty play on mines, where one of the arties has been removed at the start of the battle. Now, do you think this is going to be something we see this time round?
Well, it will be quite an unusual one, but not unheard of course. Let's see first. Phenomenal. Wow, that was not even a fail. He actually hit a rock straight there.
That was not a phenomenal hill climb whatsoever. Now, Atmospheric just getting himself set up in the middle as Argorny comes round and does a little peek over the middle. He's going to be safe just now because nobody else from Swift has made it up.
It's all good. Phenomenal is alive, and also is Ducky. He took that little scooter from Oli, and he's a flying Belgian man here around the studio now.
Yep,
if you see here tectonic crash around here, that will be he be falling on some of the sets.
Tectonic crash. Is Daki just going to destroy some tectonic plates, is he?
It's gonna be a lot of ripples going after that, you know.
Mojo, so savage, and the man's not here to defend himself.
Exactly.
And he won't hear this for another 10 minutes unless he's listening in. Brilliant.
Exactly. Why he's not here? Do the most you can. So, L-Train here driving a bit left and right. I mean, after Phenomenal failed another climb. Let's see, maybe now strike number 3.
He's going for number 3 here.
Yeah, let's go. It's not like Swift is preventing you from doing it.
Okay, Phenomenal, no pressure. Camera's on you. You can do it this time. Camera's detached. Oh, he nearly clipped the building. Yay!
There we go.
That was really nicely done that time, right? Oh, God. Oh, God, I jinxed it. Oh, God. Oh, Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Like, seriously?
Should change your name to Not Phenomenal right now.
I guess that's the point of what we were saying, like it's one thing on a training.
Ah.
But at least they're not doing a multiple boost on like on steps.
I got it, he's
So
going
they
to do it now. He's like, dude, step aside. Let the master do it.
Let's see. Much better.
Yep, needs to go right a bit more.
And
Nope.
no,
Nope, he's not done it.
Oh, God.
He might rescue it. He has just rescued it. Well done. Wow.
Man, if Swift actually made an aggressive approach to that middle, I mean, these guys would be so dead by now.
If on the off chance the Wild Bunch can get through to the LAN, Daki will be absolutely savage and tear them apart for not making those climbs.
Wow, he could make them a training room before. And see, guys, this is how you do it.
Yeah. Okay.
And then he can flunk it like 20 times in a row.
He just needs to put the video up showing him doing it once, and you don't see all the outtakes of him trying to do it multiple times. Now, L-Train and Phenomenal down the bottom now. Phenomenal relegated to sniper duties. He's going to go over and support Kiki Meerkat. It looks like he's undecided. No, he is going up now. Valder is quite an aggressive forward position there from Valder as well, Mojo. He's the defensive line as well.
Well, really slow approach here by Swift. They are taking it everything step by step. I kind of don't understand why that's slow, but okay. They will, with Mikhailov, try to deal the approach for Agorny, but Agorny taking 2 shells. This is really too much.
I was just going to say there's a wraparound coming from like Skylex and Atmospheric, so Mihailov, which is covering that area as Agorny backs off. It looks like they wanted to get their own tanks up on that side of the map, but now they know somebody's up there. I don't know if they'll carry on with that move, Mojo.
Of course they will. That's exactly the point of that, and him taking the damage gave them a great opening. Now also they know they have Dudolinho and Arti. If Dudo fired any shell by now, they should know his location. Is he on K4 or in a corner by the angle of it? And Mirsky at the moment, he shouldn't be doing anything except aiming for that artillery at the moment, because later, when they take control of the hill, they can rotate him on E1, and from there he can shoot Agorny. I guess Dudo, his only job in this game would actually be to monitor that position and chase the arty if he tries to fire there, from there.
So Agorny going all the way further back here and just getting off that hill. I guess he's expecting a shot perhaps coming in from Mersky. Is it going to connect? No, but Mersky knows exactly where Dudo is. I'm surprised Dudo isn't thinking about moving here, because the next shot could connect with him.
It could be just a blind shot, mate. It didn't have to be any kind of chase.
It's bold, yeah. I mean, I don't think he knows that Dudo's zero, but yeah, as you can see in the minimap, Dudo's moving now. He's like, you know what? Forget it. I'm not going to risk another shot coming my way.
Well, Valdir here on quite offensive position there down in the water. I mean, I really don't see why Swift wouldn't make use of that, because they can just push the 8 and 9 line and 0 line, because Valdir will be stuck there with a tank in his back with Kiki, Merkat and Phenomenal completely cut off from the fight. It's a good thing that Mr. Kella is running away, because if he would stay below the hill, he would just be a victim.
Looks like Dudo actually got hit by splash damage there. He's got a damaged track. Nothing has gun lines on him, although Mendax in the middle there does have a shot down, so perhaps Mendax connected with him.
Well, obviously Swift is taking their sweet time and they are making their moves, but it's still not enough. So far, only a bit of chipping damage on Agorni and Kiki, and connecting Odudo, well, let's face it, not really worth it.
Wild Bunch getting themselves boxed in here. Now, Swift, sometimes despite the team name, play very, very slowly. Atmospheric looking to get a charge up here. He's going to get round the rock quite safely, so he's now going to get up in that area. No crossfire coming down. Only person who was down the bottom was Mr. Keller, and he's now changed in position where he can't actually shoot. And this looks like Swift are going to control the side, Mojo.
Ooh!
Oh, hello!
Mersky was spotted by Valdir, actually.
Wow.
That's a sloppy one.
Mersky getting taken out there. Valdir getting the kill on him. Swift have now lost their artillery. Big advantage here. They really needed him to stay alive for when they do wanted to make the push. I was going to say something's going to come down the east flank, Mojo. You have the two Batchats sitting there right on top of their arty of Agorni and L-Train, sorry, in the TVP, not in a Batchat. Swift look like they've not got really much plans here.
Well, it's really a lot of time passed so far. Like, come on, guys, 6.5 minutes, and you've done majorly nothing. And finally, they look like they're messing up for that push on 8 and 9, but it's so late. It's so late that even Valdir left the water, and all the tanks of the Wild Bunch are actually prepared for it. Like, this is the worst play I've seen by Swift in a while.
This is looking like the same Swift who were playing against Rage Quit.
Oh my dear God.
Mihailov there failing to get the boost. I mean, we've got less than 3 minutes left, so you needed to be up there behind Atmospheric already. Mendax wants to go into that cap circle, but already just above him, you've got Skylex here facing off against Valdir. Shots going into the back of Skylex, almost like Agorni. Road taking a shot as he moves around. Mr. Keller getting a shot into him. Road's going to get shot in front by L-Train as well. Now, the artillery can't get a shot into him there from Dudolino. Dudolino doesn't have the arc of the shell. Mr. Keller taking a couple of hits there in the face. But Swift need to start doing something. There's the rest of a push coming around from Swift as well as they're coming down the hill. Crespix is going to jump onto Valdir. They're trying to get the wrap around at the back. Valdir doesn't know which way to face. The Skylex is going to come round as well. They need to take him out and get around behind him, Mojo.
They need to take him out fast before the other guys actually turn on them and start destroying them. But Valdir doesn't seem like he's actually protected at all. And Kella and him are falling for nothing at the moment. Train is also like a soloed out guy. Like, what? Where is the fire from Phenomenal and the guys?
Mihailov gets a kill there. Now, the two tanks in the middle, Crispix and Skylex, are on reload. There's 1 minute 50 left. Swift really need to start getting their guns to focus on the tanks of Wild Bunch. We see Phenomenal and Kiki, 5 shots between them in their Batchats. Mendax is on a reload. Mihailov's on a reload for Swift. It's all going to be down to Crispix and Skylex getting spots. As Skylex is now off reload, he gets a kill into L-Train. Road trying to spot tanks as he can. He takes one there from Agorni. Swift need to be more decisive in their play. They might still get this, Mojo, but it's going to go right down to the wire.
They cannot cap. I mean, they could put forces there, but there is too much HP in the Wild Bunch, so they could do something like that. They actually have to fight there. They need to deal with these two guys. And Kiki Merkat is trying to run away. It's going to be really important to see will he actually manage to do that kind of cross, and he did.
Mihailov missing with the first one, missing with the second one. Those are vital misses. He could have gone on and taken out Phenomenal. Kiki's just going to hide in the corner now. Road's going to try and get a kill into Didolino, and Agorni has to be careful not to get shotgunned by the artillery. Agorni actually gets the kill in Atmospheric. Road misses Dudolino. Agorni's still on a reload. Swift are just not getting the shots to count right now. They're running out of time, and they're running out of reloads.
There is still enough time, but they need to drop these two guys here. I mean, Dudolino will have a shell. Now Kiki Merkat picked up Skylex, but let's see. Let's see. It's gonna be really tight. Oh,
Dudolino does the splash damage on himself. He kills Rhodes, but the splash damage kills himself. Now, Swift really need to hurry up and get the shots in. Looks like Kiki's actually going to survive in the corner. He's too far away from either of these two tanks to get shots. Crispix can maybe proxy spot him. Mendax has 2 shots. Mihailov's in a reload. Mihailov just needs to rush him. He needs to just go for it, hell for leather right now.
But why did they commit even 2 guys there when Agorni was like only guy left there? 10 seconds, 8 seconds here.
They're too
this
far.
Is a big misplay by Mihailov and Mendax. They were supposed to split and only one guy to go for a Gorni.
They're too far. Mihailov there diving over the hill. Swift, you handed that victory to the Wild Bunch. You threw too many tanks at the artillery and the Batcha, and you knew on the other side you couldn't trade. Like, why would you do that? Just send one guy to deal with those and send the other guy over to trade.
Mate, as you said, like they sometimes look like they didn't wake up. They started this match, and for the first 5 minutes they didn't do anything. Like nothing, nada.
Yeah. It was like they were on tour. They're just having, oh, look, there's houses over here.
I mean,
oh, look over here.
we've
It's the
seen
water.
Wild Bunch failing boosts all over the place all the time, and they didn't even have a single guy who could spot them. They just handed over the map, and after that, they actually pushed. They took the game back, and in these last seconds, they made a major misplay.
That was
for one row, didn't kill artillery.
Yep.
He was focusing himself on Agorni, who was in reload, while he could have done with RT and then pressed Agorni, and just leave him on low HP for someone else to pick him up. And then, when Agorni was on one shot, instead of just pushing him in one guy, they sent two, so he couldn't run around the house, because that was their fear. And they completely ignored Kiki, who was in much superior position to survive than Agorni in the first place.
He could have shot the artillery, then just rammed him to death. It would have been enough. Let's have a look at the statistics for the damage done there. Now, it was, what you were saying about the failed boosts. Phenomenal failed it 3 times, and then Argonian was able to make it after him. So that was 4 boost attempts, and not a single time was anybody on that middle hill able to spot it. So, kind of scrappy from Swift there. They should have had somebody in the middle hill able to spot those boosts. It's something that every team does now. Somebody always goes up on that hill.
Look at this. Mersky getting spotting 240 damage. That's really unforgivable for something like this. Atmospheric, also only one shot done with this budget.
Yeah.
And he got himself decapitated. I mean,
he shoots 5 and only lands 1. I mean, the damage was coming out there from Swift, but it was just too late, and they handed that first victory to the Wild Bunch. And the Wild Bunch, again, able to pick up a battle, but not necessarily picking a battle up on their own merits. They're picking up a battle that's been handed to them.
Swift.
Yeah.
And, I mean, this is really something you should not ever see. RT getting spotted like this and killed, that's really nonsense. And
these 2 guys missed so many shots on him as well.
They bounced way too many on Valdir, but even like that, the game was theirs. And these final moves, look at this. Look at this. If you knew Agorni is there on one shot, and they made, like Road could have told, like it's really hard for anyone to run around this building. Send one guy.
Mendax comes round, he gets the kill, and Mihailov was still reloading, so it wasn't like Mendax wasn't going to get the kill. So Mihailov should have already been running for Kiki Mirka. Instead, you had 2 Batchats, both full clips saying, this guy's a one-shot, we'll both go in for him.
No, I actually think Mihailov was supposed to go for him because Agorni would have shells, and if he killed someone one-on-one, that would be the end. And Mihailov had full HP, so he could handle him. But while that is going on, Medex should have gone right for Kiki to get a side angle on him.
Yeah.
So Kiki, if he kills one, he wouldn't kill another guy. And that would be their game. But it's just bad coordination in last seconds, and that's it. I mean, it's not something unheard of, but for this game, they had plenty of that.
Yep, let's have a look at the lineups here going into round number 2 on Mines. Swift, hopefully they can start playing like the Swift we saw earlier on this season and not play like, as I said earlier on, the Swift we saw against Rage Quit. But I see here again, artillery from each
RT versus
side.
RT. I don't know, is RT really a thing for Swift? Honestly, like, can they handle it or not? We will see in defense. It's really fairly standard lineup there with RT, Grille, TVP, and 113. We do know who will play the RT for Wild Bunch, so we don't have to debate much about that. And it's probably gonna be Mersky on other side.
That is correct, Mojo.
Okay.
Mersky in the M40, M43, and no, I'm only kidding. It's Dudelinho in the Lorraine for the Wild Bunch.
So I don't expect really a ultra fast game here, but it would be really good if one of those guys actually took control of the hill.
Well, let's find out as we can jump into the action on round number 2 here on Mines, with the Wild Bunch on attack and Swift on defense. As I said in the first round, Mojo, despite the team name, Swift sometimes have very, very slow matches.
They're really sluggish.
Rage Quit as well, and that's why when the 2 teams last played each other, so many of the matches went down to the last minute or last 2 minutes. Hopefully Swift are not planning to do the same. Want some decisive victories. They need to be strong. They need to have a strong showing here.
Well, so far, Crespix. Oh, it doesn't look like he did it. He didn't have enough speed.
Nope, he's turning around and going again.
Really, really sloppy from both teams so far. Not really good display. Let's see, will Phenomenal get a defensive boost on the other side? It looks like he did it. And at least the Wild Bunch is moving more proactive than Swift did in their role.
I mean, Swift is not even trying it again. Phenomenal, almost getting himself stuck there, not getting fully up into the right place. Yeah, Swift are not even going to try again that bottom boost. They're expecting the covering fire from the Wild Bunch, and the funny thing is Wild Bunch don't have position to spot them. So they're not trying something, and again, it's the exact same situation as the first time round. Even if they were to try it multiple times, there's nobody in the middle that's going to spot them, so they could try it another 4 times if they wanted to.
Well, the thing we need to pay attention to is that artillery of Swift is actually not in a corner stuck. They're on K4 position.
K4 position, yeah. I've seen
So
that
they can
sometimes
deal with
before.
water.
If the defending team has a grill, it sits beside them, yeah.
They can deal with water from there because of Wild Bunch, as anyone who watched them ever can say, they really like to play that side of the map. 1-2 line is something there they really like. But in this game...
Oh, he's wrecked. He got hit by artillery as well. He's going to get shot off. He's not going to get himself safe. He does just get behind that slight defilate, but Agorni, wow, that is a really terrible trade to take getting up on that hill.
This is
Swift were completely ready for that.
This is something we've seen. You remember we've seen even in the last game from Oops, they held like a 49 and TVP there in a trap, but
Yeah.
the opposing team just didn't take a bite. I mean, Rage Quit, they just didn't come there on time, so they didn't get shot. Agorni this time, he got punished and he is really lucky to even be alive on that one shot, but Crespix might even remedy that one.
Now, the movement from Dudlinho here, Mojo, is he going to try and blind fire into his boost where he expects Mersky and Mihailov to be? He could connect with either one of them here.
I really don't know. I mean, he can try to do that, but...
Not from that angle.
Not from that angle, of course. But at the moment he was spotted, so he has to hug the closest building for safety.
Skylex in the middle, getting shot at here. A large explosion right beside Mr. Keller as the artillery shell looks like it came in from Mersky.
Unforgivable, Skylex. You're supposed to farm me points together with Crespix, not to get wrecked and shreked like this.
For me, it's all about Mihailov and Mendax.
Well, I have Aldir on the other side, so...
No, Mihailov and Mersky.
So just
Mersky,
shoot.
actually. Yeah. Don't know what's happening since Season 2, though. Kiki Meerkat trying to get vision onto Crespix up there. So Crespix has got up at some point. Mihailov firing out a blind shot, not connecting with anyone.
Well, Agorni not there in the greatest position of them all. I mean, on that one shot, not like someone will push him, but he's kind of useless for his team at the moment because only thing he can do is support fire for his team. Well, Swift, in all honesty, they don't have to do anything at the moment. They are not in a rush here. Wild Bunch are the ones attacking, like Swift was in the previous game. And sometimes, by the slowness of the decisions, we might actually mistaken who is doing what.
A little bit of a counter rotation coming around on the flank as Atmospheric and Mendax are looking for an opening to come around all the way that side. Nobody can really spot them. Valder's up in the middle area. There's a lot.
I think they're surprised themselves that no one is
Yeah.
spotting them. So they're like, why is no one here?
I think you have up on the hill, poor little Agorni is just living in fear of the artillery shell coming down on top of him or the peek over from Crespix. They're living on borrowed time at the moment.
Agorni cannot get shot by Arti there. Not like when he's like that. Neither by Crespix. But guys like Skylex, if he peeks here, yeah, they can. And the important thing to see is that Road and Skylex are all ready to push the hill if needed. And they are supported by the rest of the Swift team. So more or less we have only one guy defending the hill. And that's Crespix. But he cannot really be pushed unless there is multiple budgets joining him, joining Agorni from the Wild Bunch. So unless that happens, he's safe as it gets on this map there.
And the Wild Bunch can smell something brewing here as they're coming around the top. Atmospheric's trying to shoot Kiki Meerkat. He's missed with 2 already. Mendax hasn't shot. Atmospheric is spotted. Now, Kiki's going to pop himself out and get spotted. Mr. Keller and Valder are spotted as well. Dudolino spotted in his artillery. L-Train spotted and he's connected as well. Phenomenal's not spotted. Swift will see this big rotation coming from the Well Bunch, and they're going to react to it as well. Crispix is still up on the hill, but Skylex and Road are repositioning in the hill. They're all going down this flank, Mojo.
Wow. Skalek is not going to go there on time, but I don't understand really the move of the Wild Bunch here because they cannot really catch these guys. And pushing there, knowing Artie's on K4, why?
Kiki is about to get wrecked as he just drives out in front of everyone. There's all the shots coming. He's on fire. He's burning. Kiki Meerkat, why would you do that? Now they're going to try and get shots into Phenomenal. They're still focusing Kiki, trying to get him out of the game. Atmospheric gets killed. Road takes out Didolino. He was left way back there in the artillery. Kiki and Phenomenal now in the crossfire as Road and Skylex can get shots into them. Valder and Mr. Keller coming around below the guns of Swift. But Mojo, this was not worth it, was it?
Well, Valdir and Kela are going to try to pincer move on the other side, but Grilla should have an easy shots on people here now. I mean, even Artie should be pre-aimed somewhere. And oh, look at that one by Mursky!
What a hit into Valdir, 1,719 it looks like, as we see Valdir getting dropped now from the pushback in from Road and Skylex as Atmospheric comes round, gets a kill on Kiki Meerkat. Mendex gets a kill on Argorny. Phenomenal's now getting shot at by Mendax. This is it, GG. Really nice play by Swift. Well bunched. That was a bit of a suicide lemming train, really.
That after Agorni took that initial damage, it looked like the team just stopped functioning, and the suicidal call to push for 1-2 line came. Though they knew there is an Artie there, though they knew that Grill is there, what were they expecting? Like,
yeah, they were right beside each other, which is just perfect fodder for an artillery. It's like,
they turned their back to Artie. Like, what do you expect to happen when something like that, you do something like that?
It's like a big cat. You don't turn your back to the big cats; they'll pounce on you.
I mean, maybe somehow they didn't realize where Artie was, but after Agorni lost so much HP, like how could they even make that mistake?
Yeah,
that's something you should not do. And then you push Water, which is probably the best defending spot of Swift at that moment.
And Swift able to survive with all their tanks alive as well. They didn't lose a single tank in that battle. Lots of tanks on low health. Kill them. But yeah, considering the way that the first round went, that was kind of crazy. Now, let's have a look at the damage done in that battle, see who came out on top for Swift. Skylex there, 2-6-2-7, but then you have Mersky, Mendax. Phenomenal in there, but
only
then,
guy there, Phenomenal. Yeah. That's the only important thing, because
entire
there you
page.
See the fail of Wild Bunch in this page. Skylex farming me some points, that's nice, but Crespix is failing, and I really don't see him. Like, he's the only guy missing on this page. Hello.
That's what I needed from Mersky and Mihailov here, Mojo. I needed more points. It's all that matters is that we beat Daki. That's all that matters for fantasy leagues. Everyone, we're pretty sure we're going to have a fantasy league for season 2. Join up the official ESL one, and all your goal needs to be for the season is to beat Daki. That's it. Just beat Daki. And every time that you get a better result than Daki, message him on Twitter at TheKillzor and just say your team sucks. I ranked better than you this week. Here's artillery 1791 Mojo. It was 179, and then there was a clip into Mr. Keller. Give himself one damage.
This is just a slaughter here. This is not even a game anymore. I mean, look at this. They literally have no one to turn or nothing to do in this one.
It's gone, and they've got all the tanks left. Skylex is the lowest one, 137. And that's it, yeah. 7 tanks. Strong win. Everything was going fine for the Wild Bunch. Nothing was too bad, but then they just pushed down the flank, and they didn't have the vision when they did it.
Finally, let's say it like this. It still went well for Wild Bunch. They took one game here on a map they really play horribly compared to Swift. So they snatched one game in defense, and their defense is 20% compared to Swift, who have like 70-80 defense, something like that.
Fair point.
So no matter how this looked, this is still well for Wild Bunch. And they should just move on to the next map and think what to do there. Yep.
Speaking of the next map, let's have a look at the lineups that we're going to see for the vehicles being used here. Wild Bunch will be first on attack with Swift on the defense. IS-3 coming out again, Mojo, for Wild Bunch. Again, we're seeing this tank. No Tiger 2.
Well, we do know what size 3 used for on this map. I mean, it can be either on the cap, we already seen it today used, in the open cap, on one cap. of course, it can be angled even on the other one. But whatever happens, he is a sacrificial lamp. Everyone else is meant to do the damage. Interesting thing is we have a Grilla there in attack. That's not a usual choice. We can see every day.
Can the Grill do the boost on... No, he just does it on
But
attacking.
he's in attack.
Yeah.
And Swift has a 49 in defense, and he, of course, as a light, should be able to do the boost. So it's going to be interesting to see how will Swift deal with them.
Okay, well, let's find out exactly how it's going to be used as we can jump into map number 2, which is going to be Ghost Town. So let's have a look at the gun on the T49. As Mojo was just saying, it could use a smaller gun rather than its big derp gun.
We will see. Road is doing first initial spot, I guess, and then he can come back and climb anytime he wants later. Herp derp.
How's it there? How is it there?
That's a really big and aggressive spot, and Road saw no one, so he knows that the Wild Bunch is exactly in the upper corner of the map there.
How far away from the action Mendax is here.
So phenomenal.
It's like miles away. Mendax, whoa, come back here, boy. You're going off on a different map.
So phenomenal here in a corner, unusual defilade there. And let's see. It's not Dudolino approaching the cap yet, but he should be anytime now.
Dudolino spotted, Kiki Meerkat spotted. Cap's been started by the IS-7 of L Train.
It's an interesting choice there, but why not? He has a better turret, and Dudo can play some cooldown here. Why did they choose then IS-3? I don't know, maybe for some damage. I mean, Dudo did have some really, let's say, faster games with light tank lately.
They're pushing. They were trying to get a jump on an E100 there, but didn't have the shots. This could cost Skylex and Crispix dearly if they don't back off and get themselves back in cover. Both E100 shot. They wanted to go around and get a jump onto them, but they didn't have the angles. Dudolino getting another hit here as Mersky's taking a hit as well. Kiki Meerkat's taking damage. Now, Mendax is still trying to work out how he's going to rotate around the bottom
big hit by
here.
Grilla on Mikhailov. You were wondering how he positioned. We should see it on camera, I hope, on C0. And that's the angle he was shooting on Mikhailov from. So that's the info that Swift actually got. Now they have 60 seconds and they're preparing all their forces to push into the Wild Bunch there.
So Valdir's setting up the back here. He's getting shots across road. We see taking 388 hit. L Train in the cap circle just gets reset 60, so somebody's shot him in the face with an HE shell there. Does he have a line of sight here on Mikhailov?
Not anymore because of the buildings, but that was a long shot. The first one, like almost more than half of the map there.
Bit of reverse scraping coming in here from the E100 as Mendax is looking for someone to shoot at still on this flank all by himself. Slow play at the moment from Swift into the Wild Bunch, but the Wild Bunch sitting on advantage right now. They've taken less damage than Swift, I would say.
Yeah, so far so good for them. But when the real fight starts, it's going to be questionable how much damage can actually Valdir pump up, because except maybe one shot on someone approaching. Oh, and there we go. Mikhailov again carelessly taking another shot there. He turned the turret and Valdir took advantage of it immediately. 2 shots done on him. That's a big problem now for Swift.
So some great long-range shooting there from Valdir and the Gorilla. Now, how are Swift going to react to this? When the fighting starts, Road needs to get a big hit into one of these Batchats, or perhaps the Gorilla, but Valdir's nowhere near the fight. Wild Bunch are more than happy for Swift to keep trying to push out, and they're going to keep punishing them.
I was really expecting that Road will by now be 65 times over on like A1, A2 position, shooting with HE shells on whoever is capping, but the cap is still pressured and Swift is just taking damage left and right without any possible answer to it.
Looks like Mr. Keller's wanting to come up into the cap circle as well, just give additional cover. Mihailov's going to get the HE reset into L Train. He misses. We're down to 20 seconds. Mersky missed as well with his shot. We're down to 15 seconds. Can they get the reload in time? Kiki Meerkat and Argoni are coming up just to block coverage into the base so nobody can shoot.
And
Down
there
to
is the
5
decap.
seconds, there was a reset. This is going to be the fight. This is Swift making their push, but they're losing a lot of health in doing it as they lose Mihailov, Atmospheric, and Crispix taking damage. In the Wild Bunch, we see Kiki Meerkat and Phenomenal taking damage. Phenomenal getting focused in the bat chat. Might drop down if a single shot can connect with him, but he doesn't. Instead, it's Argoni who gets a kill onto Mersky of Swift. Swift have now lost 3 tanks, Mojo. This is going to go in Wild Bunch's favour.
They're losing this by a landslide here. The Wild Bunch, the best terrorist capping team in the league, strikes again here. They almost brought it to 0, but it was a really good maneuver by them because they abandoned the Death Alley by even hundreds and they just went around to put more pressure on whoever could decap L-Train. And if they don't, there would be a free cap. If they press him like they did, they would just get free kills on E100 and the guys on that side.
And this is an example of focused fire again coming out from the Wild Bunch. So an absolutely perfect rebound from losing a match where you lose all your tanks and the enemy still has 7. The best way you can come back to that is for you to win the next match with you with 7 tanks alive and the enemy team with 0.
Well, it's a heavy brawl here between these two. And I would not say this was the best performance day, but I really don't understand what the hell were they doing with the T-49. I expected it to be boosted and dealing with the cap 20 times over, but I really don't know. I will need to see, like, did he even do anything in this game or he just crashed or something?
Yeah, maybe they were thinking like they'll do the A1 boost, but I mean the Grill would have probably just one-shotted him and just removed him, so then they were worried because if they were thinking, heck, a Grill on attack, he must be covering the base if they put the IS-7
Yes,
or the
but
IS-3.
like after they already noticed where the grill is, they had all the time in the world to just go with that light, climb back and deal with this. I really don't understand it.
Well, let's have a look at the damage done in that round and see who came out on top for their team. Top 5 players all coming from the Wild Bunch.
Nothing like out of not expected there. And I really have to take a look. The road was actually shooting. And we did
He was shooting, but he wasn't connecting. I mean, we have Skylex as the only player from Swift on the front page. I wouldn't be surprised if number 8 is also the Wild Bunch, because they were completely in control of that battle, and Swift, it was almost like a reversal. You would think that Swift were the Wild Bunch and the Wild Bunch were Swift. No, actually, he's 10th, not 8th. Okay.
Oh, he did play an IS-3, but look at this. Road, 1 shot fired, only that 600 damage. I mean, what was his purpose in this game? It's just nonsense.
Yeah, it's a strange tactic, taking a T-49 on the defense. It's another one of these tanks where you're kind of putting a lot of eggs in one basket. Because if he doesn't land more than, what, 3 shots, he's ineffective.
I don't mind him there, being in a game, but I mind the way they used him. Like, why was not he boosted taking care of the cap? Because all this damage they took trying to peek left and right and do something. And the Wild Bunch is experienced team on Ghost Town. They're pretty equal on this map, Swift and the Wild Bunch. I mean, why would you do something like this? Swift is really playing careless, and honestly, badly.
Yeah, focus fire not really on point from Swift. You see the Wild Bunch having 7 tanks available, some with some substantial health and other ones with low health, but lots of tanks with damage done, but not a single one taken out. Could just be unlucky with low rolls, or it could just be lack of actually calling out specific targets or having enough guns to bear on the enemy team. Unfortunate for Swift, but, you know, fortune for the Wild Bunch. Now, going into round 2, do you think they can take it, Mojo?
Well, let's see what they have from the tanks here, because that is what's going to decide a bunch of things here. So Swift here playing with I7 in attack and 416, so they can do a double cap pressure there. Again, on the open side of the cap, Wild Bunch playing with 2 tier 9 Americans. Now that's a risky one because of these guys, they can boost only Bachat, really.
Yeah, I'm going to jinx it because I'm going to say I don't like the E1s because I've yet to see E1s properly perform on Ghost Town. They always seem to be a tank that people take based on a plan of we'll just get them to absorb damage and get a clip out. But a lot of the time I see them getting taken out without doing damage. So I think that the E1s are a brave pick. I've yet to see a team say that's why we took E1s, you know?
Well, I've seen more than once, actually, players that played well in those E1s and they do a bunch of damage. But so far, we will need to see does Wild Bunch have good enough players to actually deal with them.
Well, let's find out as we can jump into round number 2 here on Ghost Town. Wild Bunch currently sitting 2-1 up against Swift. Are Swift able to bring it back to 2-2? Or are Wild Bunch going to leap ahead, basically, and go on to 3-1? That's all to play for right now with both teams. And if you haven't bought the Korean pattern already, go and buy it because it's on sale.
3 days
It's
more.
a
3
really,
days.
It's a really good tank. It's a really good tank. Really popular tank as well. It's got that awesome camouflage on it.
Well, Mendex is spotting the lower side of the city there. If he's not careful, he might get caught. But no, they're not making that effort really seriously. So Kela is more or less the only guy who can do anything about a cap here on the open side on the one cap. On other side, I mean Swift, they don't know it, but they could do whatever they want there. And finally they're making a move. It looks like Road is taking some speed, so he should be entering the cap shortly, but no, he will slow down and wait for Cavalry to take over the Death Alley before he does it.
And they're going to get positioning here on the corner. Crispix and Skylex. Mersky and Mihalov round the corner. Now, Wild Bunch trying to set something up down south, Mojo. We've got a 3-tank rotation coming back. L-Train coming down there. Argorny coming round here as well, along with Valdir. It looks like they're not wanting to engage in that fight on Swift's terms.
Swift actually left medium on Rage Quit trap part.
Are they just going to send 2 into the cap, top cap straight away here?
And there we go.
Peekaboo camera.
I7.
You like that?
I7 and 416 are in the cap now. So we have a double cap pressure there. Kela is the only one in open field, but you, as well as we, know that when he starts going there, it's a suicidal one. But Mendex is getting wrecked.
Valdir coming around the corner as well. Phenomenal getting wrecked in return as well. See Dudolino getting ammo racked in his E1. Mendex and Phenomenal, both of them bad chats getting dropped low on each side. Mercy getting shot in the tracks here as well as the fighting happens. Crispic takes damage. Agorny's taking damage in the E100. Cap is down to 23 seconds. Wild Bunch being held off it here. The 2 T-57s need to get a shots count. They're about to go and reload, and then they're going to be feeding time for the Wild Bunch's tanks as they pick them apart. As we see Skylex being the first one to drop. Base reset coming in as well. Twice now, we're back to 60 seconds. Swift don't have the guns right now, Mojo, do they?
No, they have no guns, they have no positions. They are in a problem here because Mr. Kela is coming from their back with full HP. Valdir has almost everything in his clip and he will do the damage on atmospheric, and combined with the other guys, he's just gonna wreck him.
Mr. Kela and Valdir jumping onto atmospheric. He drops really low. He's round the corner. Now he is dead. Swift only have Mersky, Mihalov, Mendex, and Road left. Road and Mendex are on a one-shot. Mersky has a bit of health left, but not much that he can trade with. Wild Bunch still have 5 tanks available to them. Make that 5 now. They did have 6. Well, this is going to be Wild Bunches quite easily, and Swift are going to go down 3-1 here, Mojo.
Well, that's an interesting one. It does look like Swift really likes to play those tiebreakers. And I mean, we've seen them down like this before, even to 4-1 against Utopia, no less, and they managed to come back and win a tiebreaker. I really, in this situation, do not know should I even wish that.
Is that, I mean, you can just imagine it in the pre-match interview. So what's your tactics here, Swift? Well, we plan to go 4-1 down and then bring it back into tiebreaker and beat them 5-4. That's our game plan. That's how we want to set out things. And yeah, we're just going to play into their guns, and then when they're tired, we're going to bounce back and surprise them.
Well, Mersky here has 2 shots in a clip, 480 HP. Not unachievable damage for Mr. Kela, but a low alpha there coming in, so it's gonna have to wait a bit. Mr. Kela, if they counted the shells, they know how much he has, but it doesn't really matter because everyone was chasing for him.
So the Wild Bunch now the ones in the lead, in command and control here against Swift. This is not how we expected it to go. I'm glad I didn't try and predict the match at the start, because I had Swift down for the win here, so they can still do it. They can still do their usual and just do the old sucker punch. They're like, come on in, got ya, you know?
And Swift is playing sloppy as ever. This ghost town was just...
it was poor, yeah.
It was mediocre.
It was not the Swift that we've seen who brushed aside Kazna and Go Hard, Utopia,
no,
and Oops, you know?
Like, sometimes they just play so decisive, and this is like they just came out from the being down in the city on a couple of drinks with friends, and okay, let's
Just
play a
like-
game.
It's like, oh, we're playing in half an hour. You know, get in the car, let's go. Top damage mojo, where do you think it came from?
It must be maybe Agorni.
I gotta go Mr. Keller. Let's see.
Valdir maybe. Wait.
You can't do a Daki. You can't just fire out names.
No, I was trying to remember who was playing the
Mersky
T57.
actually, like, tremendous damage there. 4,349. That was brutal. He was doing really good there. But I mean, it's almost a nice little pattern. It's Swift and Well Bunch, Swift and Well Bunch, Swift again.
The game came pretty close
Yeah.
on HP at the end, but honestly, like by the number of the guns, it was the Wild Bunch lead all the time. And we've seen them being sloppy on closing the deal before. It's not like they would lose a game, but still they probably lost a couple of guns more than they had to just trying to finish it off faster.
And they can perhaps do it in the next map, which is going to be
Skylex,
Himmelsdorf.
like seriously, and Crespix.
See, it's because you said Skylex farmy damage. You jinxed it.
Oh dear.
Talk us through the highlights here, Mojo.
Rip my points, that's the highlight. Okay, here we go. This is the final push by the Wild Bunch here already. And while this is going on, Mr. Kela is closing in on Atmospheric and Road to Decap from another side. It's of course very crucial that he connects that shot, but that's not fairly hard from that distance. And even if he failed, one of these guys would have a shot. And after that, Swift already broke because they were losing health left and right all over the place here. Now we can see why did Wild Bunch lose a couple of tanks more there. And the culprit, Mersky, was the one to do it mainly.
Now, here's something as well that I noticed. When the fighting happened there, the focus fire again from Swift just wasn't happening.
They look like sleepy.
Yeah, the damage was spread across all of the Well Bunch, and Swift just weren't focusing down single tanks. Now, let's have a look at the lineups going into map number 3, which is going to be Himmelsdorf. Wild Bunch on attack, Swift on defense.
Well, Wild Bunch play here with the 3-1-1-3s in attack, so they're not using just the Grilla. We've said already you can rotate that one spot for 50B 1-1-3 Grilla in that kind of setup. Swift a bit more conservative with that E5. They can leave on the corner A5 position. We've seen it used many times. Let's just see how will it unreveal itself.
3-1-1-3s, or as Daki would say, 3-1-3-1-3-1-1-3s.
Oh, that's the new one actually. That's yours one.
Yep.
Like Daki had just FE one.
I had to practice that as well. Daki was the FE 2-1-2-1-2-1-5B.
Okay, and your?
None. I haven't made any whoopsies on tank names yet.
Really?
Yep.
That's the unusual one.
And I haven't swore yet, Mojo.
Neither did I. It was a fair mistake.
Yeah.
I wanted to say he was shot. I just did something similar.
That was brilliant. A nice one. I'm glad you swore first, because let's be honest, if there was any kind of sweepstakes or bets in the office, the odds against me would be unbelievable right now.
Why? You're such a nice guy.
I'm glad I can say I didn't first. I was gonna say.
No one did yet.
Everyone heard you. Oh, actually, to be honest, I swore on Facebook Live first as well, but nobody heard that. Now, Mojo, how do you see this one going? Wild Bunch or Swift?
My crystal ball broke, mate, after watching the last game, so I really do not know here.
Let's jump into the action and find out as we go into Himmelsdorf. So Mojo, your crystal ball.
I'm gonna try to repair it.
You're gonna try and repair your crystal ball. How'd you do that? You just plug it back in?
You kick it around a couple of times and it just starts working again.
Switch it off and switch it back on.
No, you just kick it around, mate. It's Serbian way. You just kick it as hard as you can. So,
I
okay,
think
a full
Wild
push.
Bunch are going to take it.
I really hope they will just start a big fight on a rail, because that's kind of the games I like to see. Not the ones where you wait for 7 minutes for anyone to spot each other. And it looks like it's going to be that.
You're going to
it's
get your
going to
wish
look like it's going to be that.
Your little crystal ball, Mojo. Here we go. Agorni spots out Skylex and Crispix. Each of them have taken damage. Agorni is safe. The rest of the Wild Bunch are going to wrap round here. They know that Swift is in this corner. Skylex takes another shot. They're getting the shots back as we see Valdir and Mr. Keller taking damage on the Wild Bunch. But the Wild Bunch are playing pretty nervously. They don't want to commit, Mojo. They don't want to go for it.
It does look like they chickened out here a bit, and if they push now, actually, it's gonna be a suicide. Why are they giving all this HP back? I mean, Agorni took 3 shots for free for them from Swift. I mean, he gave them 3 shots for free. So that was nice, and they had a chance to push in that moment, which they didn't choose. Okay, why did they just trade the HP back for nothing?
Let's go down to the bottom corner and see if they're there. They're there. Oh, did we fight? I don't know. You know?
You could
Yeah.
see the amount of indecisiveness in that team. Like,
They've
that was
gone-
really staggering moment. I don't understand it. Why? But never mind. Why would I understand everything? So at the moment, Wild Bunch is rotating, so they will pressure the 2 cap here. Swift is already expecting it and moving the tanks back. Crucially, Mendex. So the only thing Road actually has to decide is, can Mendex actually cross the road? Like, can he be in some position to deal with this? Dudulinho is playing fairly aggressive, but only supported by Agorni. So Mirsky there and Agorni, they might have quite a fight.
Delino's going to get hit from the E5 in a second. That was a low roll from him. It was 392. Wow. Super low roll from the E5. I mean, its average is, what, 390, or I think it's 410 maybe, or even 400. But huge rotation from the rest of Swift as they just completely give up the rail tracks.
Our Road took a big punch from someone from the middle, I would say. From one of the heavies there, like L-Train or Kella. Some of them just connecting him for like 400 HP. But now the rail is abandoned, and it looks like actually Wild Bunch wants to retake it again.
Going back around. Okay, guys, let's try it again. It's like a kid opening a jacket box when he's spinning the thing round. Like they're going to go back to it. Fool me once, you know. But they're going round a bit stronger this time. Well, there's a bit of a miscommunication there from Phenomenal Mr. Keller, who goes first. Valder bouncing a shot there from Skylex.
Oh,
Bouncing
lucky.
a second one. Amazing ricochet shot coming in there. Kiki Meerkat, though, takes 2 shots there. One from Mihailov, one from Skylex. The Wild Bunch's position here is pretty terrible. They're just driving into Swift's guns.
Yeah, Gorni is there on the top of the hill, but he is already countered by both Mirsky and Road. I mean, this is the fight that we should see right now, because these guys are stuck, and those mediums actually might decide what's going to go on next here.
Yep, Agorni's taken 3 hits now on the top of the hill on our side. Now he gets a kill on Road, but he's going to die to Mersky, and that exchange is done in, well, Swift's favour, really, because they've managed to take out a bat chat in exchange for an AMX that was already on low health.
I mean, we have Dudulinho here stuck with heavies doing nothing, while Road was actually at least sacrificial lamb to save his Bachat fellow player Mirsky, who is much more important in this kind of game. And now we have Mirsky, who can flank and do all kind of mischiefs to Wild Bunch in their back, while the Wild Bunch is pretty stuck in this corner and they can't leave anywhere, because if they start moving tanks back, if they're spotted by Mikhailov, they're gonna get wrecked, shreked and whatever. There is some HE spam coming in here.
Caster Curse Mojo says Wild Bunch, I think they're going to take it, and now the Wild Bunch are just pinned into this corner.
Look at the amount of HE shells coming in there. Dirty Hellish plays. Ooh, that's a big one actually.
Mihailov losing his driver. That one looked like it was actually a pen. Must have got through his... Oh, actually was he backing off with the rear of his tank there?
Mikhailov lost the license of a driver, but he is fairly safe now because none of the Wild Bunch guys is actually able to press him from the tree line. It's really fairly well covered by Swift. And at the moment they're fairly even by the HP. The only difference is Wild Bunch still has Dudulinho and Swift has Mirsky. What is better? I will leave people to judge.
Dudulinho going up onto the hill is a rather brave move, but he does have support coming up behind him in Phenomenal and Kiki Meerkat. Mirsky still dancing about up by the castle, trying to see if he can get any shots down across into the rest of Wild Bunch. But this could be a fairly decent rotation if they can get the kill on Mirsky. Where are they going to go from there, though, however, Mojo?
It's really risky here because Mirsky might get caught, but if he spots these 50 Bs, these guys down, like Kella and Valdir, they're dead. They're just gonna get pushed by all these guys. I mean, they will suffer some damage and they'll just finish them off.
Mirsky spots the AMX. He's trying to bait him in. He doesn't spot Phenomenal or Kiki. Mirsky's actually in a reload. Dudo could actually kill him if he was able to catch up with him. Tracking shot here might be vital.
And he does not have repairs, so that would end him, but he missed the shot.
He's away, he's safe. The AMXs are still not up, and now this is going to be a bit dangerous. Now, no one's going to spot the AMXs, but still Swift have no idea that the Wild Bunch are down AMXs on this side. Mendak's taking a hit there on the E5 and actually got ammo racked. He quickly repaired it.
And Mendex is not in a good position now because they don't control the hill anymore. And he might be in a serious trouble actually because he will be in a crossfire from Valdir and from the guys from the hill now. Same goes for Atmospheric. This is not the best moment for Swift. Like, if they don't do something significant in next couple of seconds, Wild Bunch actually might get a huge advantage on them.
Phenomenal shooting down at Mendex. Mendex has no idea that there's 2 AMXs over there. Kiki Meerkats actually came back down with this Dudelineo. All you have is Phenomenal up there. As long as they keep Mendex spotted, everyone's going to keep shooting him. And you saw how close that shell from Valdir was behind him. Mr. Kellena moving up behind Valdir. L-Train gets himself spotted moving up. And it looks like Wild Bunch are taking a good move up here. They have damage spread across all of their teams. They just need to focus on a couple of tanks from Swift. 2 tanks will make it hugely in their advantage right now.
Well, Kela is pushing there, but he's getting clicked by Crespix mainly. Mikhailov is ended up, but there is a huge HP loss on Kela and Valdir there, and Valdir does not have an ammo rack anymore.
Now they get shots into Crespix. They have killed the 2 tanks that needed Wild Bunch. As long as they can keep Kela and Valdir here safe with the HP down low on them. Crespix is down to a 1-shot. Mendax is on a 2-shot. You have Atmospheric with all the health, but he's in a 1-1-3 and he's a single shooter, so he will need to do some exceptional damage to get back into it. As we're on board here with Kiki Meerkat trying to flank round the back, he might get shots into Skylex coming around right in front of his guns.
Well, Wild Bunch with their ludicrous rotations actually managed to take Swift in a losing position, and this is really interesting one because now Atmospheric is the only guy with 100% HP and he has to commit.
Atmospheric getting shot in the back from the tank's middle. Skylex trading off against the tanks in front of him. He takes 2 hits there, has to back off. Phenomenal wrapping round the top. He has a full clip and lots of HP to trade. Wild Bunch actually with a really unusual pincer movement here, and it's actually working in their favor, Mojo.
But there's been so much of bad shooting so far in the game. I mean, look at the amount. Like, Train didn't pen 2 shots in a row. We've seen Valdir didn't get penned by his Swift guys and so on and so on. Like, if we count the amount of shells wasted, it would be unrealistic number.
Phenomenal came round here with a full clip and lots of health. He's down on a 1-shot now. He still has his clip. He gets the kill there in Crespix, scrappily enough. Kiki Meerkat gets the kill on Skylex. It's still anyone's game right now, but the favor's in Swift with HP because they still have the armor.
What's just going on here? Like, our friend Vale would have a good description for this, which I can't really repeat on TeamSpeak. I mean, on stream.
What's going on, Mojo?
Oh my dear God. I mean, Wild Bunch had victory. They were in dire situation. They managed to come back through it, and then they managed to throw it somehow for reason of what? Instead of being on 4-1 and on match point, now they have a situation where...
Phenomenal needs 2 shots to kill him.
Yes.
Atmospheric just needs 1.
Exactly. But if he misses that one, the first
there's
one...
a minute left. Atmospheric can just run away.
Well, he is doing exactly that, but we will see. Maybe Phenomenal catches him off in some bad moment. He might actually win the game.
No, he's gonna get
there
caught.
Are opportunities. There are opportunities here. Oh my God! Oh
No,
my God! What a shot!
Oh, he's safe. This is like yesterday. This is like this end match yesterday. Oh no, it's mind games. Last shot of the battle. Who's gonna do it? Sneaky, sneaky, Atmospheric. It's high ball all over again. Phenomenal can't do it.
Oh man, Phenomenal! You're gonna get wrecked.
Oh,
there.
he missed! He's round the corner though. It's just like something out of a cartoon.
13 seconds. It's not enough time. It's not enough time for Phenomenal. He can't do anything.
He
That's
needs
it.
2 shots.
That's
It's GG.
It's GG. It's
Swift
over.
have managed to claim this one back. They have snatched victory from the jaws of defeat.
Oh man, that's really, really depressing for the Wild Bunch now. They had a victory in their grasp like this, and they just crumbled away for nothing.
Game of Throws. That was... Whoa, this is like exactly like Swift were playing against Rage Quit. This is the exact same team that we're playing against Rage Quit. They are...
The sloppy one?
Mistakes all over the place, yep. This is...
Like
if Swift, if you get into the playoffs, you're going to have a hell of a job against these other teams right now, the way you're playing.
Sorry, but after watching Ding yesterday, whoever plays like this against them, it's going to be... what's the least amount of time needed to finish a game? What do you think, like 90 seconds?
It'll be over in 30 seconds with some
like,
of these teams are playing.
like together with waiting between the maps, it will be between 20 and 30 minutes. I mean, come on, guys.
Wild
You
Bunch,
can do much better than this.
Wild
like,
Bunch,
much better.
Yep. Well Bunch should have had that one. Stats, I have no idea who's going to be top damage there. That so much damage was done. Those both of those tanks are
I
one
know
was on
who
a 2-shot.
bounced the most. That's probably Valdir.
I mean, look,
Mirsky.
damage spread across the entire teams. Nobody really standing out.
No, Ryan, I think you are condemned. You're going to sit here for a while.
I mean, to be fair, at least it's the second match of the evening. It's not going quick. Okay, fair enough. But neither of these teams look strong against each other right now.
No, this is like really battle of who will do the less amount of the mistakes, and they are throwing mistakes at each other more than shots. At the moment, this is like it is. And I'm really hoping that they will just cool off a bit.
Skylex Pro AMX 50B, 1,570 damage, 15 shots fired. What was he shooting at?
Well, whatever he was connecting, it was not for damage. This is the moment where I really thought Swift has it. I look at this,
yeah.
1500 of advantage in HP and the tier 10 Bacha that can really do a lot of pain to the Wild Bunch. And then they did all kind of ridiculous moves like pressing too much with E5.
Phenomenal came down there and got absolutely smashed when they had the advantage. He had the HP advantage. He could have one-shotted at least 2 tanks. Kiki Meerkat gets the shot into Atmospheric, and then Atmospheric's like, hang on a minute, I'm defending. Nobody's shooting at me. Let's just run. And it turned into something like a cartoon chase at the end.
It is always like a cartoon chase when that happens. I mean, it's really lucky for Phenomenal that he even managed to spot him.
Yeah, but even when he shot and missed, and he could have.
It was not even
killed.
a close miss.
Yeah.
He hit the ground like 50 meters behind.
Panic situation, obviously, but she never got to that situation in the first place.
No, they had all the advantage at that moment, and they just threw it away. So it's up to them, but they still have a lead. It's 3-2, and they will be defending now.
Yes, indeed. So they're going to swap round. Let's think about this for a second, Mojo. Can any of these teams... I mean, every time I say I think this team is going to get it, they lose it. Who do you think is still going to win this exchange?
On defense here, I would actually fare here on defense Swift.
Swift this one. So you think it's going to go 3-3?
Yeah. I know you don't want to hear it, but I'm pretty sure it's going to go like this here because Swift is just that kind of a team. And then it's probably going to be the Wild Bunch taking over.
Oh, Muravanka. Oh, Muravanka. I think Wild Bunch is going to get it.
Let's
there
see.
you go. I'm going to jinx it.
We will see.
I think it's going to be Wild Bunch who are going to go 4-2. And then we're going to go into Muravanka where the Wild Bunch are on defense. And I think their plan's going to work. And I think they're going to see out the series 5-2.
Right.
Calling it.
Yeah. Okay. Swift will do it to 3-3 on Himmelsdorf. Then we will see some Murovanka where Swift is attacking and Wild Bunch actually does a decent defense. So it will be 4-3. Then we have Swift defending against the Wild Bunch. So it will be 4-4 and we will have to face off on Cliff where I would actually say that Swift should play better. But considering that none of the teams played Cliff, it will be a complete unknown.
Okay, let's find out as we look at the lineups here for round number 2 on Himmelsdorf. TVP, Mojo. We don't usually see that on attack.
It's a really fairly new invention for Himmelsdorf. Maybe Wild Bunch will actually manage to defend against that one. I mean, TVP could be quite useful if Wild Bunch does something aggressive on the middle, like trying to spot with 1390, so you can really catch it off with TVP. But other than that, I really have no idea why they're using it.
I didn't even spot that earlier on, so I just saw it coming up now. I was like, hang on a minute, it's a TVP on attack. Yeah, interesting to see how they use this against the Wild Bunch. I still favour the Wild Bunch. I think it's going to be 4-2. Let's find out as I am right or not, Mojo, as we can jump into the battle with the Wild Bunch defending and Swift on attack. How do you see this going from the start?
Well, Swift with that TVP, I mean, he should go on some really aggressive positions so he could do shots immediately, but he's going on a hill together with Crespix. So that kind of action, I really don't know what they want to do because it's not a usual one. It's fairly unusual. Agorni is doing really aggressive spot on the middle together with Dudolinho on 3 line. So they want to get maximum amount of info where the Swift will go. And they're really ignoring the rail. You look at this. Wild Bunch is positioned to defend the city and they're trying to remain unspotted with those tanks.
Road and Agorni spotted each other out there in the middle road. Dudolinho has got himself spotted by Atmospheric, who gets into that position safely, but Agorni actually took a hit on the Wild Bunch.
He took 2 hits by both guys from the hill, Mendex and Crespix, and you can see Mendex after firing that one immediately placed the reload. He can afford it because of that 5 seconds. He's doing that fairly easy for him. Now, okay, Agorni took some damage. Dudolinho is more or less stuck there where he is. So there is several ways to deal with him. I hope that actually Swift may remember, or maybe I should not hope. Let's not say it like that, because if they approach his position from not 3 line, but that sandbag on like 4 line, they can actually partially hit his turret, and they cannot be punished while doing it so. But they're really reluctant to do anything, and we are watching the Swift all over the place, just sitting and waiting for something to happen on a map, while enemy is taking initiative. And Wild Bunch is doing exactly that. They're rotating all of their forces down.
Mersky and Skylex just coming around the church at the south of the map. They might get the drop onto Agorni, who's down in this corner, and they could take him out as we have Phenomenal above him. They could try and do a pincer movement. Very dangerous. They don't really have the firepower to trade against these tanks, as there's a push going up the Banana Road as well from Swift, trying to take control of the map from the Wild Bunch. They have this east side completely. The map is almost split 50-50 down the middle, Mojo.
Swift is really on an unusual spot here. Actually, Agorni might get wrecked or whatever, because Skylex and Mersky, once they turn, Phenomenal and Agorni are not in good position to trade.
Look at this jump! Look at this jump! They're not ready for it. They just ran across. They could have got shots.
Oh dear.
Agorni and Phenomenal, they had no idea Mersky and Skylex were there. Had they known, they could have popped out there. They could have eliminated one of them. Atmospheric gets shot as he drives across. L-Train coming down to help Phenomenal here. Mersky does take a shot. Now, there can be a fight down the bottom here. Tanks are separated out. They're going to try and get a jump onto one of them, but additional tanks are coming down from Swift here, Mojo.
They're already positioned to do the damage, and Valdir and Kiki Merkat, they're far away. L-Train just ran into this fire.
L-Train, you just went straight into the middle of our trap there. They pulled back. It was a bait and you took it, hook, line and sinker. As now Phenomenal gets dropped, Dudolinho gets wrecked as well. Counter shots coming back out from Wild Bunch are spread all across Swift. We finally see Mersky dropping, but the Wild Bunch have lost 2 tanks already. Fairness, they've lost one of their heavies, not one of their DPSers, but DPMs even with the 113s, but I mean, Wild Bunch are just caught completely in the middle here with their pants down at their ankles.
Finishing off this 50p is really bad for the Wild Bunch here, and already the rest of the heavy tanks from Swift are there in motion. Agorni and Valdir are the ones that are trying to now help out, but it's just not gonna work out. I think the Swift actually has much better positions at the moment.
Wild Bunch, I mean, that move across at the start from L-Train, just driving in there, expecting to shoot someone when the rest of Swift's tanks had came back down the Banana Road. Swift now with 4 tanks still available. Mihailov still with a huge amount of health. Crespik still 640 health. Mendak still with a fair amount of health as well, as Agorni runs away. Only tank left from the Wild Bunch. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I do not have a career in fortune telling.
No, you're not a good fortune teller, and my crystal ball knows that I would kick it. Yeah, my crystal ball knows I will hit it endlessly if it did a mistake again. So there we go, it will be 3-3, and we will sit a bit more here because these guys are fighting till the last breath.
Just how many crystal balls do you have, Mojo?
Only one, mate. I kick it hard, but it's really like a survival one.
Okay, it's a tough ball then, is it?
It's a tough ball.
Okay, well, it's certainly working wonders for you here as you're able to predict the 3-3. And my prediction of 4-2 has just gone out the window. I'm going to say the next one's going to go 4-3.
For who, mate?
Well, that doesn't matter. That's not important right now. Yeah.
It is actually because Swift is attacking. If they take the attack, it will be 5-3 for Swift.
We're going on to Muravanka.
Yes.
Well, let's have a look at the damage done in this battle first before I can have a think about that. Now, top damage mojo, Crispix.
Wow, that was psychic, Ryan.
Yep. Yep.
Your eyesight is right there. It's supposed to
Yep,
be.
it's really good. Crispix, Agorni, then Mendax, Skylex Pro, Mihailov. So Crispix stepping up for his team. He's a really good player for
And
Swift.
Skylex, so we can finally see them win and farm some points there.
Mihailov for me as well, and Mendax.
No
No, it's
Valdir to be
Mihailov and
found
Mersky
anywhere.
I have in my one. There's Valdir Mojo.
Yeah, I see him. Right there with Dudo. Well, not so good for my points, but good for Swift because Swift now equaled on 3-3, and the next map is Bushvanka, Murovanka, Magic Forest, whatever you want to call it.
Let's have a look at the highlights.
Let's see what these guys did
Yep.
here.
I mean, this is the...
This is already the ending part here,
Yeah, we've
where
already lost
Valband
L-Train.
already got surrounded. Now, after that first moment when Swift actually managed to miss all the initial shots when they were crossing, like Agorni and Kiki, I think, and Valband gathered for the counter-attack, Swift actually managed to cross half of the map and come back to make a crossfire on time, which was really impressive, rather impressive there. So I would say this is, although a bit sloppy by idea, first decent round by Swift in this match so far.
It was a nice move as well. They were trying to get the flank across the middle, going through the little alleyways. But they had no idea those two 50Bs were, and the 50Bs were facing the wrong way as well. So they could have got the drop on one of them. They could have clipped out one of the 50Bs and then retreated.
Could
But it
have
looks
ended up this. I would actually thought that Agorni would get wrecked there because he was the second guy. So the first guy who
Stopped,
crosses,
yeah. They went, oh!
he just like goes undamaged, but the second guy should be connected by
Yeah.
both guys, and they actually didn't turn on time. They were too surprised.
Yep, you saw him clash into the tank in front of him as he stopped, and there were probably a bit of confusion about whether to go back out and shoot or just stay
But
hidden.
this little alley where those tanks drive, this is like X time
Suicide
we've
alley.
seen it there,
Yeah.
and the Valbunch is specifically one of the teams that really likes it. Like they know it like a back of their palm.
It's like Danger Alley. It's not a place you want to go to. So Murovanka Mojo, here we go. Let's look at the vehicles going to be used for this map, where we have Wild Bunch on defense, Swift on attack.
Fairly lineup that Valbunch used many times before with that Grille, E5, STB, TVP and so on. So we know Grille will do a backlining. E5 can go both on red line together with STB or just stay as anchor on a Hell TVP for cover fire. Now more interesting is Swift actually is playing the identical lineup as Ding did last two times, because that lineup, let's face it, it works if you play it properly. I'm just even gonna see Will Road or someone in that tier 9 budget even play with the gasoline like Coriz did.
Yeah, I do remember you and Daki talking about that yesterday. Had gasoline and you guys were trying to work out why he had it.
Yes, probably because he wanted to really aggressively spot some initial positions so they would not be taken by anyone, so the remainder of his tanks could approach. But we will see what they actually have planned.
Okay, let's find out. We're going into map number 4. It's all tied 3-3. Who can win the next one? Let's find out on Murovanka.
Murovanka, a map with a great number of buildings, bushes and trees, amongst which teams hide for most of the battle. The attacking team begins the battle from the top of the village, and the defenders start from the bottom of the map. Both bases are better controlled from the hill near the first base, and from the green in the lower left corner of the map. There are many attack directions. The attacking team often attempts to gain the attention of defenders by putting pressure on the first base, whilst manoeuvring several tanks behind the second base to deliver fire into the defending's flank. Team setups are very diverse, but the players often choose the fastest tanks, even for heavy setups. They could even bring SPGs.
So they could even bring SPGs, but not this time Mojo as Swift. Not going for any kind of base rush tactics initially. It looks like perhaps they're setting out for a fight, and the Wild Bunch are just going to find some bushes to sit in, and that will be them.
Valbunch are setting up a trap on a lower part with Dudolinho there. Why are they doing it against Swift? A team that proved multiple times they're really not getting trapped on Murovanka, and so far they wrecked everyone who tried it. Okay, maybe Valbunch will be the first ones.
Trying to set a trap for Swift in a map like this, when Swift along with Rage Quit are notorious for running the clock down, is a very bold game from Wild Bunch. A very interesting tactical play wanting to run down the clock like that.
Well, luckily for them, they gave up really fast on that, so they are taking, let's say, some more advantageous positions here. Well, a slow rotation coming in from Swift, and we will probably see Mirsky driving on the edge of the water shortly, getting that K6 position, the crucial one, so he would play a hold down from there, and so on.
So, Mojo, can you burst out your crayons and actually show us what you think's going to happen?
Well, this is the first part. After they're spotting, this 1-1-3 will go like this, and he will get this hold down position. Why he needs that? So he can peek, he can deal with these positions, he can get crossfire like this. And while that is going on, let's not forget this trio here. This is a classic dink setup now. We already know that 2 tanks are not enough, but these guys can easily shoot and have any kind of crossfire they want here. And once that happens, one of the Bachats will just go in a proxy position here to fend off any possible threat from there before they actually try exercising any kind of pressure on the cap. Because once these guys can't anymore shoot from here, they can easily deal with Dudolinho by pressing anyone to these buildings, and then they can just go and start the cap.
Mendax and Atmospheric. Atmospheric actually being subbed in here for Swift, Mojo. He wasn't playing earlier on, was he?
Atmospheric? Yes, he was.
He was? Okay, I didn't recognize his name there for some reason. So,
Swift only has 7 people.
No,
They play all the time.
Yeah, okay. Oh, it's already dragged on, Mojo. I'm starting to see things.
So Dudo here in fairly safe position that cannot be proxy spotted by anyone unless they really drive over him, but it can be guessed. Now,
Unfair play and he camped bush.
I didn't really notice Swift to be one of the best teams in clearing the bushes, but they might prove me wrong.
For Swift for clearing bushes? No, if Swift want to clear the bushes, what they do is they just put an artillery in front of them and then push the artillery into where the scout is.
Exactly, but no artillery now, so they will have to do something different. And there you go, Mandax is here in that position. Now there should be a medium coming on that 3 line to fan off whoever is there. That will give them a lot of leverage because they will be able to choose actually which side they want to attack. Mr. Kela is playing fairly aggressive with that E5 on F2 position, which is not really common, but I guess with this kind of camping lineup with the Grilla, they really need a point guy there.
He is really quite aggressively forward there, trying to find shots into the wild bunch. That's a blind shot over to where he expects
also very
Respix
risky
to be.
because he's peeking there like a boss and he might be tracked.
Mendax getting spotted out.
No surprise there.
Not able to get any counter vision onto Dudolinho sitting in the bush.
5.5 minutes and they still didn't fire a shot to try to find a light tank. Now, I mean, if you copy other people's tactics, you should at least do something proper about it.
Yes, you can't recycle a tactic and not use it to its full potential. Now, I know sometimes attacking teams don't like playing on Muravanka, but realistically they just need to get their stuff in order and work out tactically how to deal with it. If you're going to complain that somebody can just sit in the bush and give them spawn cover, then don't try and go for base 2, go for base 1, or work out a way of how to flush out that light in base 2. They did it perfectly with the artillery, using it as a blocker.
Now there you go. Skylex is slowly approaching that hill that he will need to proxy the people. Mikhailov and Krespix are right below him, so they can cover him if he is pushed, and they can do shots if he spots actually something. And let us see now, because let's face it, the Wild Bunch is playing really passively, and these guys will have nothing to shoot once Skylex comes there.
Mendax taking a 737 hit there, so he was spotted and shot by, it looks like Valder and the Gorillas. Dudolinho is now spotted out. They're going to get focused fire into him, try and get him eliminated. He goes down within seconds.
That was
Mr.
a crucial.
Getting himself shot at as well. Agorni tries to come up over the hill and he gets shot as well. The gunline of Swift ready to receive the Wild Bunch. They knew where to aim, and that was really good quick, decisive play there.
It does not look like we will see a tiebreaker here unless Wild Bunch really performs a miracle here, because Swift has really good positions. Dudolinho getting spotted was a really bad thing happening for them, and I have no clue how did Kela allow himself to lose so much HP now.
Atmospheric now able to start capping. Has to be careful he doesn't get himself drawn out and wants to come over and help his team. As we see Mihailov trading off with the team members of Wild Bunch. Agorny looks like he's going to be focused fire from Swift. He's going to be the next one to fall here, perhaps, if they can get the shots to count. L-Train getting shots into Skylex as well. It's Mihailov who finally gets the kill on Agorny. Now, Wild Bunch are down 2 tanks, but they almost are tied on HP, Mojo, because lots of shots have came back in against Swift, but it's spread across the team.
HP doesn't matter, only the cap matters, and the fact that Wild Bunch actually has to drive toward the cap and deal with it, and they are currently not doing so. 23 seconds to count and counting.
So 20 seconds down, we're going to see Valdir, what looks like Phenomenal, going to try and poke forward to get shots, but Mendax is playing keep away right now and holding them back. He just needs to block shots. Atmospheric wanting to get shots out. You can see here with the laser sights where everyone's aiming, as Atmospheric almost gets a shot at as well. Valdir trying to work out where he wants to shoot. 2 seconds, 1 second. Again, it's another free cap right now. Wow, that's it. 4-3 Swift.
But that's not a free cap, I really must correct you there. That was worked upon, and they planned it, and they did it well.
Okay. Well,
so
an unchallenged cap at the end then.
That was really deserved, and Wild Bunch didn't know how to deal with it. And I will be corrected. I don't think this will go to tiebreaker. I think Swift is taking this 5-3 now.
Don't do this, because every time you predict the scores, it kind of happens. So we'll see.
No, that's you, mate.
We'll see. I think it's going to go...
I actually thought that Wild Bunch might be able to defend themselves now.
Actually, here we go then. I think it's going to go 4-4.
Then we are not going to tiebreaker for sure.
Mind the games.
Counterplays.
Yeah.
But, I mean, although this play was really sluggish by Swift, they still came to conclusion. They managed to fan out where the 1390 was. I really don't understand how was he spotted so easily, because he was supposed to be safe in that bush and far enough away. I don't know. I didn't pay attention. Did he have a camo net on 1390 or not? He was supposed to have it if he is there. And maybe he didn't check his position well enough, because if the slightest piece of him was peeking toward 1-3 when he was going toward the house, he would be spotted. So eventually it would be his fault then.
Well, let's have a look at the damage done in the battle and see where that all came out from. Valdir top damage in the grill. Then 2 players from Swift, Mihailov and Mersky. Exactly what I needed for my fantasy team. But not a lot of damage done individually by any one player. I mean, Valdir there almost 3k. Then 2.5 Mihailov, but then it just kind of
I think Valdir had like 4 connections as far as I was counting. But all in all, really nothing special about this game. It's just bad moves by Wild Bunch in one moment. I mean, losing Dudolinho is one thing. But in same moment, E5, losing so much HP on Mr. Kela, that's really unforgivable, because I already mentioned he was peeking too much. And those budgets really took a chance on him, because he got wrecked when he peeked over to try to do something about the proxy.
It also shows you that how when you're defending and you're doing this AMX and a bush tactic, it shows how deadly it is against you if that plan fails, if the AMX gets spotted or something gets done by the enemy team to counter it. You really have no other option right now. That's you already backed into that corner. The enemy team has complete map dominance, and they're going to just start discussing amongst themselves who they shoot at first, more or less. So it's a very bold move with that AMX. The danger that so many teams have pushing against it is the AMX can spot anyone approaching him, so the counter shots can come out.
Honestly, I was really wondering in the start of the season when I watched a lot of Murovanka matches. Okay, the camp is good, but this current tactic played by Ding now, that's nothing new or revolutionary. Yeah. In Tier 8 old times when we played 754 format, that was a usual approach. How would you deal with a camp on Murovanka? That was so usual that you wouldn't believe, and people are still falling for it.
Well, let's have a look at the lineups for round 2 here on Murovanka. Now we see Wild Bunch coming out with a grill and an IS-4 on attack, Mojo.
Wow, that's a new one. IS-4, I mean, obviously when you take an IS-4, you just want to angle it somewhere so it could bounce as much shell you can. And this, in my eyes, it says they're going to 1 cap, top cap.
Top cap, okay.
It's gonna be a rough one against the lineup that Swift has, which is pretty default one, but they have two heavy, so they can put, if they want, both E5 and STB in that favored position on a red line. But they don't have the big rotation force, and Wild Bunch actually might capitalize on that with those budgets over there.
It's going to be interesting exactly to see which way the teams go. Should you expect some kind of base 1 shenanigans from Wild Bunch?
I would, really. Like, approach for 2 tier 9 budgets and Ice 4 maybe.
Okay, well, it looks like there is a bit of a whoopsie right now, so we're not going to jump into the battle just yet. You're going to come back to me and Mojo while we talk over this round with Swift and Wild Bunch. So, vital for Swift, well, vital for Wild Bunch if they want to get to the quarterfinals. Swift, kind of already safe at the moment, but it's scrappy play from them. We saw this against Rage Quit previously. They should have been dominating. You would expect them to perhaps be strong here against the Wild Bunch. They have beaten much harder opponents, and they're just not seeing out matches. There's lots of, again, individual mistakes and team mistakes.
Well, this is the fact. We already said, like, 1 point for Wild Bunch here doesn't cut it. So they need minimum of 2 to even equal and maybe get in some kind of match with those guys that are ahead of them. So if they don't win here, they're done for. They know it. There is nothing more to say about it. And they will go to relegation matches, if they choose, of course. And I don't see why not. I mean, they've been the guys that were coming back all the time. But this game is still not over, and they still might win it. And this is the battle they need to win.
Yeah, they need to do it. I mean, the problem is that... But you're saying, like, a point won't cut it. So if Wild Bunch do win this one, and it goes to tiebreaker... I mean,
they must win the tiebreaker also.
Yeah, but it's already too late, arguably, for Wild Bunch then, because they needed the 9 points.
No,
well, they can get by with 8. 8 or 8. Yeah,
might
7,
get them.
Yeah, they're 7 behind. They needed 9, so they're 7 behind. They can get 8, but still, you know, they should see out. But here we go, actually, as the battle is underway. Wild Bunch on the defense, Swift on the attack, and yes, Mojo, we can see the Wild Bunch forming up for base number 1, but Swift are moving over to counter it already.
Well, it's fairly expected with Swift lineup. It's not really one that can fight anything lower with any kind of traps. It's really not mobile. That's about it. But Wild Bunch is not really aggressively going for the 1 cap. It's only phenomenal approaching it. I was expecting a bit more tanks there, and all the tier 9 tanks are actually doing rotation through the middle and the lower part of the map. Oh, ho, ho, what are you doing, Dudo?
To the Linio Stunt Driving School, ladies and gentlemen. Buy your tickets at the main desk. Now, if TWB are not able to take this full match against Swift, if they do take it into tiebreaker, and if they do win the tiebreaker, then they desperately need to win their next 2 matches. Now, they're going to be playing against Kazna and then Utopia. Kazna got wrecked 5-0 yesterday by Gohard. Shreked, destroyed, annihilated. Yeah, and then Utopia, I mean, they could be favourable against Kazna. They could be like, okay, we can do this, but against Utopia as well. Utopia are playing a bit ropey as well.
Nothing is out of the reach, but at the moment they have to deal with Swift. Swift is their main opponent at hand here. So,
I mean, they're match points, so if Swift win this, then it is GG Wild Bunch, you know. It doesn't matter if you win the next 2 ones, you're still not going to do it. They'll be out by 1 point, even at, and that's based on Kazna or Gohard losing all their matches.
now let's point out here what's going on with Swift. Like, they have an Ice 4 in that F1 position behind the house, so that 1 cap really cannot be challenged that easy while he is there. They have an E5 right there to do a crossfire with him, and Crespix covering them immediately from the red line. Now, we know that they cannot really deal with anything on a lower cap if they lose road. So, the play from the Wild Bunch now should be kill road anyhow you can and start the cap, because that would bring them probably a victory. But only that and nothing else, because if he spots them coming in down with those fragile tanks, Wild Bunch is gonna get wrecked on whatever.
Now we do have a laser sight we can sometimes put on to show people just where you're aiming. I know some people in chat right now will be joking saying, oh my god, hacks, but it's funny whenever someone says that in chat and you never bat an eyelid at the fact we have both teams on the minimap. So, or we can see both teams' health pools.
Well, one guy is doing a proxy here for the Wild Bunch, so that's good for them, but he is getting cornered by a lot of Swift, and Road actually got spotted, but Train, he's dead.
Big massive bounce on Mendax there from the first shot as they're trying to get shots coming in from Phenomenal there. So Road was spotted, they had to back off. Mendax is getting absolutely annihilated here in the middle. He's down to 273 health. But in return, Wild Bunch have lost L-Train. They are down a tank as Swift are taking damage across the board right now. Their tanks are in a surround by the Wild Bunch right now. And Wild Bunch are just taking their shots and picking their targets at the moment, Mojo.
Yeah, Wild Bunch actually did lose L-Train, but they're still in a bit of a better position because they have a lot of rotational force and they killed Road. This is the most important one. I mean, Mendex losing that HP, fine, but it's just in TVP. But Road, they really needed him to spot, and now Swift is forced to do a rotation and try to push on them. But while they're doing that, they already are down on HP. Now, that Ice 4 and E5, that's going to be crucial for them because they can soak up a lot of damage.
So Agorni is in the cap circle along here with another tank. Mendax, it looks like, down there, down to 35
Kiki.
seconds. Kiki Meerkat, okay, yep. Now, 30 seconds now. Swift are having to resort to blind fire tactics. They're rushing into the cap circle right now. Valder, Mr. Kell, and Dudlino are going to be ready to catch them in a crossfire. It all depends. Actually, they've left the cap circle now. This is a Bay Atmospheric getting annihilated in the crossfire here. He's ammo racked as well. Swift are really just running into the Wild Bunch's guns at the moment, Mojo.
I mean, Dudolino, no, that's phenomenal shooting on Atmospheric there. And he is in reload, so he can't really finish him off. But it doesn't look good for Swift. And Ryan, maybe you were right, mate. We might see a tiebreaker here.
Not like this. Not like this.
Aren't you happy that your predicaments are there in place and there is still a hope for the Wild Bunch, mate?
I mean, it's good that there's still hope for the Wild Bunch. It's just... I don't want to say it's disappointing. It's frustrating to see Swift playing like this. They were playing so well coming into this. It was like Gohard when they were in their slump. It's, you know, the team can do better. Now, in fairness to Wild Bunch, they're not a team who've been electric recently. They've not a team that's stepped up and shown us really anything special. But right now, by God, are they fighting for their place to stay in. The problem is they have to do this in 2 more matches against arguably more difficult opponents. Kazna Crew, well, we just don't know what Kazna Crew you're ever going to get each day of the week. But against Utopia, it's going to be a tall order. Now, it's looking like the Wild Bunch are in complete cruise control right here. Swift, 5,097 health. Wild Bunch, 7,159. They have Swift completely penned in right now. And Swift are going to need a miracle almost. They're going to need 2 massive kills in their team and their side to try and turn this.
The interesting fact here, like if Wild Bunch actually wins this match and gets 2 points, let's say it happens like that. With those 8 points, they will just even themselves with the people who have 25. And we have currently 3 teams with that. So let's say they win 2 here and 6 in next matches. So they would just even themselves with Gohar, Kazna, and Swift. And that would require all of them to actually lose everything in next 2 days.
Pretty sure, actually, I've got it here. Yep, so the Wild Bunch, their last, Swift, Kazna, Utopia. So Kazna could just seal their fate in the next match. So could Utopia. Rage Quit, I've got Oops, Gohard, and Ding. So Rage Quit could still cause Gohard to potentially lose points.
Let's not forget Utopia really needs those points to stay up above Oops.
Yep, Oops, who just beat Rage Quit, have Utopia and then Kazna. So I mean, for that one, for second place, I mean, it's Gohard only have Rage Quit and Swift to play for them to stay up. Gohard should beat Swift, no problem. Rage Quit, no problem. God knows what happens with Swift. Now, we're down to 4 tanks left here on Swift. Wild Bunch still in complete cruise control. Almost 3 times the health pool, or at least double the health pool, Mojo.
Yes, they should really kind of a bit approach there and make it happen. Because there is no reason to prolong this battle anymore.
Mersky is trading off here with Mr. Keller. He's able to get the kill into him, but he takes a lot of damage in return. Agorni's going to run over there to kill Mersky as soon as he comes off reload there.
Agorni is gonna not run anywhere with the dead driver, mate.
Dudolino looks like he might be the one coming over the kill. We're down to 77 seconds on the cap. Mersky might just get himself safe from Dudolino. Nope, he's spotted and killed. Crespix and Mihailov here trying to get shots into anything they can right now. It's Agorni actually hitting at the moment. Skylex is down the bottom. No vision still on Kiki Meerkat. And Phenomenal's just driving past him as well, as we see Valdir getting the kill on Mihailov there. Swift with only 2 tanks left and barely any HP between them. This is going to be the Wild Bunch taking this one, Mojo, and it's going to be 4-4. We're going to a tiebreaker on Cliff.
Murovanka, the worst map for defense ever. Well, at least when these guys are playing it.
It's always played out so slowly, Murovanka. That's the problem. It has almost only one way of defending it, which is sticking an AMX in the bush and just dragging the match out. There's no other real way that the defenders can do anything. It's not a map that favours defense at all. And there we go. Cap done by the Wild Bunch. Swift did have a single tank left, but it had a sliver of health. It didn't matter.
It doesn't really matter being alive in Ice 4, but I think they actually picked him up also at the end.
As the score goes in there behind us. 4-4, we have a tiebreaker. It's going to be on Cliff. And we're going to have a little bit of a slow pause, a little break, a little chat between me and Mojo, because now the teams have to go and pick tanks for Cliff because they hadn't done so beforehand, because we don't really
Let's say
count in.
what's interesting about this Cliff here. None of these teams actually played it.
So Cliff,
they have no experience on
none
it.
of the teams have played it, but I'm reckoning we're going to see 6 bat chats per side, maybe a T49 and maybe a TVP.
Never mind. Swift played it once, one game and lost. So it's like they never played it. Wild Bunch didn't play it a single time. That's one of the maps they're banning all the time. And the second map they're avoiding is Steps because they played it like 6 times and they have 0% win ratio there. But Steps is not a tiebreaker, so no worries there.
Well, let's have a look at the stats for that battle and see where the damage came from. Phenomenal! Oh!
5k, okay, long time no see.
Holy moly! 5k from Phenomenal, 3k from Crespix, almost 3k from Mersky, Mr. Keller 2.7. Bit of a carry there from Phenomenal, to be honest. Slung the team on his shoulders. 29 shots and 4 kills.
Pool Road and Pool Train, they were the spotters for their team.
If you had Phenomenal in your fantasy team, ladies and gentlemen, he just farmed you a bucket load of points in that single match.
Unfortunately, I think I don't have him for a while now.
You have L-Train probably.
No.
So let's have a look at the highlights, Mojo, and you can walk us through what we
You're
saw
a mean
here.
person, mate. You and Taki both. You just want to win by every possible means. Well,
It's
this
not
is
the
a
taking
moment.
part that counts, it's the winning that matters.
This is the moment where Ice 4 got handed over, more or less, because they needed to take him out as fast as they can because he was jeopardizing their positions. But Road got spotted, and that's again another 1390 falling really rather easy there. So everything else just collapsed after that. I mean, if they still had Road somewhere in a field, it would be good for them. But like this, they were really dependent on surviving with those heavy tanks in a village, and you cannot really outmaneuver the mediums with the lineup they had. It was just too heavy, and it was just situated too much to play on top cap, 1 cap.
Yeah, they could have done better with that. It was once Road broke and ran away, it was not an ideal situation. Everyone knew where he was. He already took a lot of damage. Right after him leaving, he then got killed. So they were down the light tank. And then after that, it was just every time they tried to push to reset the cap or something, they were just getting picked apart by the Wild Bunch. And Swift could have been in control of that one. Instead, they've left the door wide open. The Wild Bunch have came back into it. As I said earlier on, neither team has looked decisive in this match. Neither team has looked like, hey, we're gonna take this one 2-0. Like you guys, like we're on a run right here. It seems to be that every time one team steps forward, the other team just fall over and let the other team pass them. It's like watching 2 drunk people try and win a race.
We've seen not that many great plays by here, but we can still see that here at least Phenomenal did 5k damage, and that's something to really respect and in any kind of game. But maybe we can see some top 5 while the teams are getting prepared.
Yep, in the meantime, while we're waiting for the teams to get ready, let's have a look at the best plays last week in the EU region for our top 5.
He's trying to go for Sprung.
There's a
They
miss,
are going
there's a
for
two
it.
miss. Grossa's there to cover them though. Oh, insane! What a shot onto Kiki! Kiki's going to get killed by the Grossa cover here. Spoink actually gets a kill on Kiki. Now, Phenomenal's going to try and duel with Spoink. He's going to get shots into him. Spoink doesn't care. His job's done. Can Grossa come around? No, he can't, because there's a wraparound from the Wild Bunch focusing on Grossa.
Are they really going to fall for this?
Peekaboo.
Oh my god, they're falling for it.
Two
They're falling for it.
Crespix. They weren't aiming that way. The AMX 3090s were not aiming that way, but Mihailov and Crespix caught in a crossfire here, and they're going to go down. We see Mihailov go down. Crespix is going to be the next one down. This is like quite an old school bait. Anyone watching this, guys, Rage Quit have done this before. Don't fall for it.
It's the third time they've done it. How do you fall for this, Swift? Now they need to make an overmatch somewhere else, but there's no tanks to pounce on. Number one skills is still sitting comfortably on that cap. And even if they go for him, by the time they do get there, the 50 Bs will be in position. This is really, really, really bad from Swift.
There is a counter push coming in. This is exactly like Wolf played it here.
Here is the counter push, the 350 Bs into the 8-line Gremek, Cactus, and Hollow. Gremek actually misses the first one. Richie 100 that they're going to focus on. Milosh makes a shell, connects it. Cactus drops very low. That shell doesn't actually connect onto him, but they are going to focus Milosh as they take him down. Diablo now the next one, but the 50 Bs ran out of ammo. Now step up your skill, trying to take down Diablo. So the Utopia's going to lose 2 100s here, and look at the HP, it's just melting away at this point.
Oops, we guessed it. There is no other way to play this. And there we go. There is a spot coming in now because Insane was covering the top line.
So many missed shots already coming in against Insane as nobody's connected yet. There's a shot going across there to Spunk to try and get a connection on him. Now, Kaizu getting absolutely smashed as he crossed the road there in the E100. Crossfire coming in against Scarium and Purple as well. Fantastic gun line there from Oops Mojo. What a mistake to make for Gohard there.
This, honestly, I would just pull out Isnev right now and all these bachat.
What is atmospheric doing? Atmospheric? Hello?
That's also mystery for me. Sacrifice to the gods?
I am... Okay.
That got us.
Wait. They're using him as a mobile shield! Oh, wow! Wow, Swift, really? Well, Atmospheric is now a personal body block here for Mandax. Mandax is like, bro, I got you. He's pushing him forwards. Yeah, they'll lose Atmospheric, but Isneb will die for this.
But what a blind play. He didn't even check will he get spotted or anything by
That's
Kazna.
great. Look at it. Atmospheric, their Mandax gets spotted, and Kaza's like, they kill Atmospheric.
Seriously, run now.
Where's that Swift, Mojo? Where's that Swift?
I don't know, died with that artillery, mate.
That was great tactics. I mean, they handed it to Kazna in those matches, and that was a genius move. Couldn't work out what was happening with the Lorraine, but they were using it as a shield to flush out the scout. But really unique play, interesting play.
It's really a big blind play, but I had really always a good laugh when I see those E100s in the field, mate.
Wide open. So we're going to have Swift defending here on Cliff. Let's have a look at the lineups and see if I'm right with Batchat City. Yep.
Well, Bunch attacking, Swift defending here. This is a standard lineup. Swift is playing, most likely copied by Ding again.
Now, right now, Daki, if he was here, would be going, oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. They should just take 2 tier 9 Batchats.
No, this 49 in defense is a fairly decent choice, and combined with the TVP especially. We'll see what Valbunch has planned here. I mean, as we said, they didn't even play this map once. We don't know, did they even practice the climbs or whatnot, because this map is very dependent on it. Same goes for Swift. So what kind of battle we will see here, no one knows.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if any claims can be made. So let's find out as we go to the tiebreaker here. All square 4-4. We're going into Cliff.
Cliff, the most dynamic map in the league. Battles on Cliff always turn into desperate double-edged fights. Teams start from the same spots as they do in standard battles. The first base is located near the defender's spawn point, and the second is at the bottom of the hill. Sometimes teams split their forces and send several tanks through the 1-2 line to the left of the small hill, but usually both teams play at the center. The attacking team can send one of the tanks up to the lighthouse or behind it. Fast and quick-firing vehicles are better suited for this map, mainly medium tanks, including tanks equipped with autoloaders.
Now, the big important thing here is that on Cliff, the fight almost always happens at the lighthouse. Teams get dominant positions on the lighthouse and they fight over it. As you're saying, Mojo, we have no idea if either of these teams know the boosts to get up onto the lighthouse safely. I'm sure they know it, as whether they've practiced it or not.
Well, we are pretty sure they've seen them, but did they have time or will to practice them for this part of the season? We don't know. It's just a matter that they have it as a tiebreaker, so they have to play it. But this is a lot of overwhelming advantage at the moment for Swift.
Mihailov is the first one to take damage. It looks like the Wild Bunch are going for the boost areas. They are going to where the climbs are, but looks like they're maybe having a bit indecisive of where to actually go. Kiki's going to be the first one to try it. He gets round it and up okay. Swift, however, are able to take the easy way up because there's no crossfire from F3 area, and Swift are actually going to be the first ones up here, Mojo, because they're able to take that position completely uncontested. And yeah, Wild Bunch knew the claims. They're up there already.
It's not over, mate.
Skylex took a little bit of a hit as well going up to that area. Mr. Kella and Wild Bunch is taking a hit.
Yeah, Dudolinho is harassing a bit from there, so they do know where the Roo is. But the fact is that Swift is actually controlling the top of that hill. Now, they did take some damage on Skylex and on Mihailov, so Wild Bunch has some slight advantage, but still, Wild Bunch has to do all the offensive moves and attack, and not the Swift.
Has this been a pocket pick all the time for one of these teams? Have they just been pretending to everyone they don't want to play it, when realistically they can do it no problem? You can see the tanks from the Wild Bunch easily climbing up that hill area where we've seen so many other tanks fail, and he managed to get 3 tanks up there no problem. So for somebody who doesn't play the map...
They actually played it better than some guys that are supposed to play it all over the place and all the time. Well, that's a new one, but why not?
They've got the HP advantage slightly in their favour right now on the top of this hill. Crispix just dropping back round. Crossfire coming in from Dudo. All he needs to do is connect with 1 or 2 shots, and that will set the battle going as Argorny, Phenomenal, and Kiki will come rolling over that hill to get Crossfire coming in. And then that'll be it. Everything will go crazy from that moment on.
Well, they still have to wage their chances here. The trigger could be if Mendex is spotted together with Crespix on the other side, because then Wild Bunch will have no choice but to push on these guys.
So
and
they're gonna...
and Kel and Chain are doing a push on the other side. Honestly, if Crespix and Mendex come here on time and they just push on Phenomenal, these guys, Wild Bunch will lose by default.
Dudolino is getting focused at the moment here. They're going to try and get shots onto him. He is spotted here. Kiki Meerkat is wide open to Crispix and Mendax. Dudolino should have said, hey guys, watch out, there's an overlap coming. They were a bit slow. Now, Wild Bunch need to take the position here that they've got on top and drop down onto Swift, but it looks like Swift have the crossfire set up as L-Train's able to get a kill on Mihailov there down the bottom. L-Train and Mr. Keller wrapped all the way around. The push is going to come over the top at the same time here, Mojo. Skylex kills Mr. Keller, but now Argorny's wanting to go, Phenomenal's wanting to go. They're missing their shots. Valder needs to go as well. They need to get this fight started.
They don't know best how to focus their fire and how to position the tanks. It looks like Swift actually has this under their belt, but it's still not over. If they lose the hill, they might lose the game.
So Rod is down. We see Mihailov getting down as well. Atmospheric is down. Wild Bunch still have everyone in the game apart from L-Train. Dudolino's getting shot at by these tanks, but they're not shooting the tanks on the hill. They're not... Dudolino's not important right now. That's a waste of focused fire. Now we see the tanks of Swift coming back up onto the hill. Mersky's just about to come off reload. Skylex is just about to come off reload. Kiki needs to move out of there and try and get additional covering fire. But every other tank from the Wild Bunch up here is on the reload, Mojo.
That's the problem, because Mersky can pick up Valdir for free now, and actually picking up Dudolino is a good thing because no one is harassing them in the back now. They hold the fort now. They hold the top of the hill, and Valbach is really on the brink of defeat now.
Wild Bunch just can't get their guns back up to angle into them. There's no crossfire. Mr. Keller shooting at Mendax. He has a tank bouncing so many shots right now, and the bat chat is up on the top of the hill. All he has left is Valdir and Argorny, whereas Swift have Mersky, Skylix, Crispix. Mendax is on a one-shot, but he's still a gun in the game. Crispix getting shot at. Skylix gets the kill on Valdir. Crispix gets the kill on Argorny. This is going to go Swift. They're going to do their usual mojo. They're going to drag it out into a tiebreaker, and they're going to win the tiebreaker.
Again, this is late. I need to count this.
Swift.
Just give me a sec.
Listen, give me a sec. What's your tactic? Well, we're gonna go down like 4-1, 3-1. Then we're gonna bring it back into a tiebreaker, and we're just gonna beat them in the tiebreaker.
To just give it visual, out of the 5 matches in the second phase, the Swift played,